Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. We're back again. Today I really want to focus on the SNAP/food stamp government shutdown. But there's a couple of things I want to touch on first. Now, this is a couple of days old because this was Halloween, okay? But apparently in Tucson, Arizona, there were these teachers that were wearing these Halloween costumes, like the math department. And on one side of the shirt, it looked all, bloody, Halloween, scary, woo. And it had the words that said, problem solved. Now, a couple of, Ron DeSantis from Florida, somebody in Arizona, a couple of MAGA Republican Congress people jumped onto this, and they were like, this is totally unacceptable that they are talking about Charlie Kirk, or they're making fun, a costume about Charlie Kirk. The problem is that was pure gaslighting, pure BS, because that's not what they were doing at all, okay? Turns out that these teachers wore these same costumes last year, before he was ever even shot, last Halloween. And it's a double entendre, it's a dual meaning, one for Halloween and, two for it being the math department, problem solved, okay? Woo! Now, here's where the problem is with social media, because these Republicans and these, MAGA folks, this went viral, and it got millions of views, okay? The school district had to post and say, hey, we're sorry that this was taken the wrong way, but this is not what it meant. And here's proof, because last year, the same math department had the exact same costumes on, the same teachers. It had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. So the problem with social media is thus: because it went viral from these MAGA folks, and they got millions of views, okay? These MAGA folks got millions of views. Their retraction, their apologies, only got a couple of thousand. So this misinformation got put out there with millions of views, and when they had to back it up or backtrack it, only a few thousand people saw that, okay? So that's one of the main problems with social media and accountability, okay? I really feel that it should be a law that if you are a state representative or state official, that everything you say should be considered to be under oath, so that you can't be part of spreading misinformation. I really believe that, okay? Now that's point one. We're going to move on. Second thing I wanted to touch on was, I was thinking about this because of a video I saw, and it was talking about black immigrants, whether Jamaican, Cuban, Haitian, from Africa, it doesn't matter. But why they don't seem to side with or get along with African Americans, people born here in America, black people, like they should. And it's because a lot of these places, whether it's Jamaica or it's in Africa, like the law enforcement and police in some of these places is utterly corrupt, where you can just disappear. And so when they get to America and they see that they have rights, they're like, why are you Negroes complaining, because you guys have it good here? What they don't understand is the struggle and the fight on how we got to this point where they can come and enjoy all the freedoms and benefits that African Americans here in America have fought for and bled for and died for during civil rights, during slavery, et cetera, et cetera. They don't understand that, and they don't give credit to that. And I think that's part of the problem. They don't understand that, or they don't think about that. They don't consider that, okay? Moving on. Food stamps. The optics behind, the White House having this Great Gatsby party, Halloween party, where the plates were, 5,000 or 10,000, I don't know, however many. Everybody that was at that Halloween party at the White House, their plates cost more than a month's worth of food for anybody that's on SNAP. And these people are so tone deaf Some of them have never ever been into a grocery store. That's how rich they are. Okay. And they're eating, gourmet luxury food that's more than a month's worth of somebody's groceries. So to them, they can't comprehend. What do you mean you can't afford groceries? I just paid, thousands of dollars for dinner. How can you not afford your groceries? Okay. To them, they don't get it. It's tone deaf. They don't understand. They don't even know what WIC stands for. Okay. I already know that you could poll half the people and they have no idea. Maybe even 90% of them have no idea what WIC is. Okay. The main, and I see this, part of this is social media, okay? They will trot out, and some of it's AI. You got to be able to spot the AI when you see it, okay? When they show you an AI where it's a black woman in her house, and it looks like it's a trashed out house with 8 kids running around, take a look, okay? Pay attention to the background. And when you can see the like a kid missing an arm, or they're stuck in this one pose and they don't move the whole video like a painting, and you can see things in the background that don't add up, like somebody's, leg going through a table, things like that. Like, you can tell when you pay attention to the photo that it's AI. But at a quick glance, you're like, oh my God, that's a welfare queen. Or when they show the trailer park Becky with, makeup, like mismatched makeup like Harley Quinn, and missing teeth. And she's like, oh yeah, well, I just got out of rehab and it's hard feeding myself with no job. When they are showing these stereotypes that are just over the top, they're not showing you the 70-year-old or 80-year-old grandma or grandparent that lives on Social Security that's getting, food stamps so that they can eat. They're not showing you those people. They're not showing you the soccer mom with 4 kids that lives in suburbia, who her husband works at the factory and she's a stay-at-home mom, and they get SNAP to supplement, to make sure that they've got food for their 4 kids, the American family, the dynamic unit. They're not showing you those people. They're flooding the airways with these AI images, which is why AI is so dangerous. And people are lazy. People are lazy and don't even think to verify. Okay? They're not showing you the MAGA moms in Alabama or Oklahoma or Arkansas. Okay? They're showing you these fake AI images. Pay attention, okay, to what they're doing, to what social media is doing to you. Okay? Last thing that I want to touch on, okay, while this government shutdown is happening and the Congress could be in session, do you know that they've only been in session like 12 out of the last 100 days? And you want to know why? It's because if they go back to full session, he has to, in Congress, in the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson has to swear in that congressperson from Arizona. That congressperson from Arizona is the last signature they need to force a resolution, basically force them to release more of the Epstein files. So he's been dodging and doing whatever he can to prevent that from happening. She could have been sworn in the day after she was elected, but he didn't want to do that because he knows, and I won't say that somebody told him, but yeah, somebody told him, don't swear her in, keep Congress out, because if she gets in there and they get that last signature and they force us to do the Epstein files, then a whole bunch of stuff is going to hit the fan. That's it. Now you know. Anyway, you take what I said, hopefully you take it with more than a grain of salt. Don't believe all this nonsense that they're telling you with food. Think about the people that are that are not getting their food stamps, that need it, deserve it, and should have it. And it's like you throw away the bathwater with the baby, or one bad egg spoils one bad apple spoils the bunch. All that stuff. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get that 1 out of 10,000, and they're making everybody suffer for it. Okay, this is just their excuse to be cruel and mean. Anyway, don't forget Today is a big voting day. I'm expecting there to be a big blue turnout. I'm expecting a lot of blue people to get elected. And hopefully, that is a sign for midterms next year. Don't let this energy go. Get these MAGA folks out of there so we can get back to some normalcy in our country. Thank you and have a good afternoon.